The only reason some people cannot see what God is doing is because they are focused on what He hasn't done for them. They are focused on their disappointment. But here's the truth. It is not what God does for you that validates who He is. God is still Jehovah Rapha. The death of your loved one did not change that. God hasn't stopped being provider because you couldn't pay rent. God hasn't stopped being Jehovah Nissi because you slipped into depression. It is not what God does for you that validates who He is. God is God. So don't build your faith on acts. Don't build your faith on acts. Build your faith in the knowledge of God. Your faith for healing must not be based on the fact that somebody else that you know somewhere gave a testimony that he or she was healed. As amazing as that is, your faith must not be based on that. Your faith must be based on the revelation of Jesus Christ, on what He has done on the cross of Calvary and the power in His name. Friends, don't let your disappointment infiltrate your doctrine. And so in our text today, we see the life and the faith, the attitude of the believers in Acts chapter 12. Although James died, they still fought for Peter. That when your disappointment does not affect your concept of God, your labor of love, your walk of faith, and your patience in hope, then you have gained a level of maturity that is not common today. Your faith must be on the character of God, the power of His name, and the finished work of Christ on the cross of Calvary. Your life will change if you don't think on the level of your feelings. Any believer who is ruled by the word of God cannot be trapped by the enemy. So don't think on the level of your feelings. Think on the level of the truth. Think on the level of your faith, not on the level of your feelings. This is why it is possible for the child of God to feel down but think up. This is why it's possible for the child of God to feel death but you think life. This is why you can be surrounded by uncertainties but you can see possibilities. Discouragement is the first step to your next failure. Satan will get you discouraged so he can set you up for your next failure and your disappointment. The discouragement that comes from your mistakes is designed to put a wall on your way. It's designed to put a wall on your journey. A wall makes you turn back. A wall prevents you from seeing the way forward. It's like losing James and not seeing the possibility of having Peter back. You must determine in your life that by the grace of God, you will never get discouraged to the degree that you fall away. You must determine, you must make up your mind that by the grace of God, you will never get discouraged. No matter how much you failed, no matter how deeply you failed, even if everything goes wrong around you, you're going to have hope that God is still almighty and He has a plan for you. Remember the Lord. Remember who God is. Don't lose sight of Him. Don't lose sight of who He is. Remember the Lord. Remember that He is kind. Remember that He is merciful. When you make a mistake, remember that He is merciful. Also remember who you are in Him. Also remember what He has done. Remember what He has done. The same God you are agitated about is the same one who stepped in time and went to Calvary for your sake. How quick we forget. How quick we forget that he gave himself. And if he gave himself, what can he not give to you? Listen, if God does not release things to you when you want him to release them to you, then you must learn to believe that he has a better plan. You must learn to see what he's doing. You must learn to see what he's doing. You must learn to realize that God is withholding that thing from you because he has seen that that is the thing that brings him or brings you to him, and he wants to get that thing off the way. He doesn't want your needs to be the mediator. He wants Jesus to be the mediator. Sometimes for a lot of us, our needs is the middle point between us and God. Every time there's a need, that's when we come. And so we come to God through our needs. And God says, no, I want you to come to me. Come. But because you have needs, remember what he has done. Remember what he has said to you. God says, I honor my word more than my name. Remember what he has said to you. Don't be quick to forget what God said to you.